are live. How about you, everybody? Welcome into this week's edition of the Auburn Live call-in show. I am your host, Jeffrey Lee, Senior Recruiting Editor for Auburn Live on 3. Today is Sunday, October 22nd. We are 24 hours removed from kickoff, a kickoff that saw Auburn continue to beat Auburn. They ended up losing 28-21. We will talk about all of that if you want. We will talk about all the good recruiting news that came out of that visit. And when I say we, I mean Mr. Jhead and Mr. Cole Pinkston. How about you, fellas?
How about you?
All right.
Big dog.
All right. I'm expecting a very lively show tonight. I hope so. I mean, I want to hear what people are thinking. I want to hear what people, if they have any questions, if they have any comments, hear what you thought about Auburn's loss last night to Ole Miss, the 28 yards passing, the 6 attempts they had through 3.5 quarters, the shuffling of the quarterbacks on a consistent basis. I want to hear it all. And if not, I completely understand, because what did you expect? Now, what you might not have expected was all the positive recruiting news, man. We had it all at Auburn Live on 3. We're going to continue pumping out the recruiting news at Auburn Live on 3. If you jump in right now, I think they still got the big game special on. I won't tell them until tomorrow. So jump on right now, Auburn Live on 3. 50% off an annual subscription or $1 for the first month. You cannot beat it. It's like a cute puppy. Give us a call, 701-779-9585. I hope we've got some calls lined up. But before we get to them, I wanted to say to the people that were calling me earlier today going, I need a realtor. I got you, big dog. I got you. Miss Jessica Andrews with the Talents Group, 334-704-4442. She can do it all, folks. Give her a call. She is a 5-star realtor. Man, let me tell you, last week we went to Montana just for a little quick fishing trip, I guess you could say. Dude, we're in Yellowstone. She's closing deals. She's putting houses live. She's calling people she knows, saying, hey, I know I've got a house for you. She was working. It's really impressive, man. She does not stop. She works more than she should, in my opinion, for her clients. But she's good with it. She loves it. She loves helping people out. She loves finding the dream homes, selling their homes to find their other dream home. So give her a call. Jessica Andrews with the Talents Group, 334-704-4442. Okay. Hey, before we get started, I really did have a couple of people this week. We all know him by now. Wesley McGriff stepped down off the field. He's now a off the field analyst, I guess. But he is no longer on the field coaching the cornerbacks. And Hugh Freeze had said earlier this week that it was personal matters, I believe, were the words he used. And I think people thought he was sick or, deathly ill or something like that. And just want to go and say, and the messages I got were not from the site. It was, I'm guessing it was from the YouTube channel. So he's fine. He's absolutely fine. And the reason he stepped down, man, is we were talking a little bit before the show, is it's the way some people treat people. And, Crime is a 55-year-old man. He's been defensive coordinator in the SEC. He's been doing this a long time. He's a fantastic person. He's a fantastic coach. He's a fantastic recruiter. But he's not going to put up with being treated like an idiot. He's not going to be treated like a dog. You're not going to talk to him like a dog, and I don't blame him. And it was becoming a constant sometime in the defensive meeting room, and he was over that. It was leading people is one thing, but leading people like dogs is another. And that was something that he's just too old for, been through it all, didn't want to put up with anymore. So he has stepped to an off-the-field role. He still can recruit. He just can't go off campus to recruit. So he's good, folks. He's good. 100% healthy, feeling good, and hopes to continue doing what he's doing. Zach, you got some people lined up?
Oh, we got plenty.
Oh,
as you can imagine.
5960 on there?
Not yet.
Oh.
Well, he just popped up, but we already picked this guy, so we'll go to him next. 4085. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
You're talking to the Wolf.
Oh, there he is.
He said he was going to be on here tonight.
Deep from Coleman County.
He called 15 minutes before the show started, almost. So he's been here for a minute.
Man a shirt. What's on your mind tonight, Wolf?
Give me a triple X, though.
I'm not talking about underwear.
Anyway, I ain't been able to call because I've been having to work on Saturdays and Sundays, and the first chance I got to get in here, so I definitely wasn't going to miss it. Let me just go ahead and say right off the bat, I support Hugh Freeze. He's doing exactly what I kind of want him to do, but I got one little issue. What? Saying that flipping quarterbacks didn't have anything to do with the performance. Don't piss down my back and tell me it's raining. It's never worked. Will never work. He's never done it anywhere he's ever been. Neither is Montgomery. Stop it. Just pick a guy and let's go with it.
What a fantastic way to lead off the show, Wolf. I think we were saying this. I know the hell I was.
Yeah.
6 months ago when it was, Robbie. I was like, I don't care who it is. Pick one. Don't be sending these guys out. Has it ever worked? Seriously, can y'all think of any?
No.
What was it? Did Tim Tebow and Chris Leak?
Yes,
That wasn't a
Tebow and
true-
Lee.
That wasn't like a true 2 QB system, though. They would just bring Tebow in for red zone during his freshman year. Chris Leak started all.
Well, Damian Craig did it
13
too
games.
on red zone.
Damian Craig.
That wasn't a true 2 QB system.
Who was he with?
Chris
Pat
Leak.
Yeah. Oh, Chris
Da-
Lee,
Damian.
Damian and Pat,
Damian, yeah.
And who?
Pat Nix.
Okay. Yeah, but Wolf, I hear you, man. And listen, talking to the people last night, it's like close to the program. Dude, pick one. Win with one, lose with one. I don't see any benefit from doing this. I don't. I actually see. Cole, do you? Can you find me one benefit to doing this?
No, not the way they're doing it.
Okay.
I could make a case for it. The way they did it in the Georgia game, I could make a case for. They have not done that again. And my point in that is, hey, whatever you gave to Robbie also went to Peyton. Whatever you gave to Peyton also went to Robbie. This is not a separate package for him. It's the offense that you prepared for today. It goes to each quarterback, and they both executed it well. That's the only way I could vouch for. I still don't like it, even then. So no, I don't like the 2 quarterback deal at all.
Well, it's a shame because we wasted a good defensive performance, and we wasted Ole Miss making a lot of mistakes, giving us a chance to stay in that game. And hopefully, we'll get, the next 4 games is big, guys. I've been saying from the beginning, I didn't think this was about a 7-5 team, and 6-6 is still doable, but you got to start this week. You can't lose the next 3 games. Can't. That's it. I mean, you won't be going bowling.
Next 2 for sure.
Wolf, that's fantastic. That's a great way to get the show kicked off. Because what I watched
now is I want to talk about some of the quarterbacks we could have had, and I'm going to raise Jay Lee's eyebrow right here. We all saw what Emory Williams did last night. We almost had that boy. How about Kenton Jenkins that we had committed? You checked out what he's been doing this year?
What did he do?
A lot better than what we got.
He's playing it
As a true freshman.
He's at FIU.
FIU.
He's the starter there.
FIU, yeah.
He's doing fine. I mean, look, totally different ball game at Auburn. But I know what you're saying.
That's true.
Wolf, I'll tell you what, you could have had. You could have had Mr. TJ Finley.
Prime time we'd had Shador. Don't even get me started on that.
Ooh, Lord.
I know you was hoping TJ Finley would stick around. He's over there running for Heisman at North Texas. Texas
I
State.
don't want a potted plant to be my quarterback.
You know what, Cole, I think we were talking about this last night. Let's look back to the transfer portal windows, the 1 and 2. Let's be honest here. Look, Grayson McCall was supposed to be that guy. I don't know what somebody's saying he's not shooting it out up at Coastal this week. Zach?
He's been okay this year, but it's probably his worst year that he's had at Coastal.
Yeah, 10 touchdowns, 6 picks, over 1,500 yards passing.
But he was going to be the guy. I mean, he was the guy.
Tim Beck is the new head coach there. They're running a different offensive system. Tim Beck has regressed many a quarterback. Okay. I don't put that on Grayson McCall. That's on the coaching that he's getting, in my honest opinion, in the system that they're running. But go ahead, Jeffrey.
Okay, one question, guys.
The suspense is killing me.
Okay, the question is, how are we connecting with all these offensive recruits with the kind of offense we're doing? I mean, output we're doing. It's kind of amazing. And I'll let y'all go.
I got it. I can answer that.
Go for it, Cole.
Whatever you believed to be true about recruiting 5 years ago, forget it.
Yep.
You can forget it. That ain't what we're dealing with today. Okay. Now I'm not fixing to get into it and what it all entails, but this is quite frankly, it's ridiculous what's going on in the recruiting world right now. But if you don't play the game, you're not getting in with any of these guys, and Auburn's playing the game.
And let me say this for those that don't understand, the NIL game has been around for a long time, but inflation has hit, fellas.
Yeah.
And you better be prepared for those inflation prices. And Auburn is up to the challenge to this point. And I will say that.
My little input here, and we'll go to the next call. Colt, the Wolf, you got to start at a big time. But my questions last night, Wolf, to Ryan Williams, to Perry Thompson, would have been to Cam Coleman, to what was the kid, Caleb Cunningham. My thing was, man, like what is their pitch when you see Auburn attempt 6 passes, complete 4 for 28 yards through 3.5 quarters? Even if you come to Auburn, who are they selling to you that's going to be throwing you the football? And listen, not only the recruits, but the people I asked close to the program told me the same thing. Cole, you know, a couple of these guys. This year's wide receiving core, sans Caleb Burton, Camden Brown, there was another guy, are as average at best. And honestly, so
Did they say Jay Fair? Was that the other one that they said?
yeah, it made Jay Fair. There you go. It was one of those slot guys. But Cole, I thought, made a brilliant post, I think, earlier today on that first series. Robbie drops back. He's got 3 guys open, if I'm not mistaken. Right, Cole, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I used the term flash. They flashed open, meaning they're not open, throwing their hands up. They flashed open. There's a window to throw the ball, and you got to do it. You have to. And it was Robbie Ashford who didn't do it this time, where it's been Peyton Thorne. They gave Robbie Ashford the offense in the first drive. Here's the offense. Let's see what you can do. It's like somebody compared it to Brucey in the longest yard. All right, now sit down and shut up. You didn't do it.
Right. My point was that they think it's as much on the receivers as it is the quarterbacks right now. That Auburn's got a handful of G5 receivers that haven't gotten any better, and the G5 receivers going against SEC defenses, and it's difficult. So all of the blame that we're giving to the quarterbacks, at least half of it goes to the wide receivers. So the pitch, Wolf, is, hey, man, these guys are very average. It would be a lot different if we had some really good wide receivers. If you were getting open, if you were catching these 50-50 balls, we would throw them to you. We can't throw the 50-50 balls because we don't have anybody that can catch it. I disagree.
Yeah, well,
let's throw the double covers the 2 shortest guys on the team.
Yeah, and I love Camden, but he dropped one, gator armed it right there in his chest, man. I mean,
the 3-yard route on the 3rd and 6.
That's true. I give you that, but he dropped it.
Lord have mercy.
Hey,
there was we had a conversation in the preseason on this show because people asked where the wide receiving core ranked because they thought it was being underrated. I think it's fair to say, like, we probably have a bottom 3 receiving core in the SEC right now. Maybe the worst.
Yeah, I was going to say, who's the other 2?
Yeah.
Maybe
Vandy.
I overrated
State and Vandy. And look, I think Vandy's got a kid that would start for us for sure. I mean,
he led the SEC in receiving for like 2 or 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, dude, they got a dude over there.
But even if the quarterbacks don't change between now and next year, the Perry Thompson, Malcolm Simmons, Bryce Kane, the 3 commitments, plus any or all of Cam Coleman, Ryan Williams, the 2024 guys, They will absolutely play next year. No doubt about it. Every one of them.
Yeah, and look, Hugh Freeze can lean on his history. Okay.
Yes.
With wide receivers, he can lean on his history. He can show them what he's done with guys of their caliber. You probably can't do that at other positions on the field, but Hugh Freeze can 100% lean on wide receiver play and say, hey, these are dudes I've put in the league. This is what I have done. I can do it with you. Just because I'm not doing it right now doesn't mean I can't do it with you. So that is there in his arsenal for him to utilize for wide receiver play for sure.
Ryan Williams said the same thing, Jhead. Just look at his past. Just look at his resume. All right, Zach. Good stuff, Wolf.
Hey, Jeffrey, can I throw one thing in there?
Please. Yes.
Sort of a message, if you will, to Hugh Freeze.
Dear Facebook.
Hugh Freeze, whoever the play callers are, that's who it's going to. Okay, I got it. You're scared. I see it. I sat there and started the play script today, and I said, let me just ponder this for a little while because I don't know if breaking down the scheme today is the actual answer to the problems here. Because you're not getting their best scheme because they're not giving it to you. They're dumbing the offense down. And I was using that term, with fragility earlier, but I don't anymore. That's what you're doing. That's how it's coming across to your players, by the way, on offense, that you're dumbing it down for them. Here's the problem, and this is why Auburn, you know what? I understand the outrage from Auburn fans. I usually don't. I've said the phrase, hey, fans, you're unreasonable. And I still believe that. But right now I'm with you a little bit because Auburn, let's just think back real quick, and I'll make this quick. Every big game in Auburn's career history that people remember and love Auburn for, that they show on the big screen before the game. Mm-hmm. Was Auburn ever not the underdog in those games? Think about it. Well, have they ever been favored by 20 points going into a game against Alabama? Ever?
I don't even think back during the DeBose years or the Shuley years.
The 04 Iron Bowl, I would think. Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that. Auburn's the underdog right now in all these games, so nothing's really changed. Okay? This is how it's been in history. Auburn's been the underdog in a lot of games, and then they go and whip tail in some of these games because they ain't scared. I mean, it's in the freaking creed, right?
I don't know. I don't read that shit.
Well, right now, you're calling the offense like you're scared. And Auburn fans are pissed about it. Auburn former players are pissed about it. I've talked to a few. They think this is ridiculous what you're doing right now. Because you know what? Screw it if you don't have the roster you need. You're going to lose anyway doing it the way you're doing it. Open it up. What are you scared of? Hey, you're at Auburn. You're at the wrong place to do it. You're making a dangerous mistake, coach. Dangerous. You don't want to start off on the wrong foot with the Auburn fan base like that. Hey, you need the Auburn fan base for recruiting. You're going to need them. That's where we're at in this world right now.
The largest line or the largest amount of points Auburn's ever been favored against Alabama. 2004, Jhead, it was Auburn minus 10. 1997, minus 11.5. Yep. That was the largest spread for Auburn. As Auburn is now, Alabama was favored by 21 in 2011, and Alabama was favored by 14.5 in 1992, and 14.5 in 2008. But yep, you're right, Cole.
Anyway, that's my point. You're scared, and Auburn fans are going to hate you for it because that ain't Auburn football. Never has been.
All right, Zach, get us to number 2.
5960. You're live. No introduction needed on this one.
No, sir.
Yeah, bring him on.
What's going on, fellas?
Yeah, get in here.
Calm down. Oh, take a cheer.
Cole had to get something off his chest, didn't he?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, I feel your frustration, Cole. I feel your frustration. It's gonna be all right, Cole. How y'all doing, man?
Fairly well.
Yeah, had a good day today. You know what I mean? Watched a game last night that made me want to go throw up after it was over. minus the defensive effort. I hat tip to those guys for laying their guts out there. But
sans the first quarter.
Sans the first quarter, yeah. I mean, but look, give Lane Kiffin his
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Look, he's a phenomenal play caller for a reason. But other than that, Edward, I flushed football today, to be completely honest. These guys couldn't do that. I did. Had a fantastic day, and I'm sitting here talking to you, so things could be significantly worse.
I was where y'all was last week, man. And I came outside Tuesday morning. I do my morning meditation. I sit here and I, thank the good Lord for another day. And I sit here and I meditate and I watch the squirrels and I watch the birds. But I'm not like I was last week. I'm not all riled up because sometimes God used things to speak to me, man.
Mm-hmm.
I started ministry in 2016. I preached my first sermon in 2016. And that's why a lot of times you hear Cole say, I say sometimes things that you never thought of or put it in a way that you never thought of. That's a gift that God gave. But I was sitting here and I want y'all to just think about what I'm about to say. I think we all been looking at this thing completely wrong. And that's why we so baffled about what we see. Because you've been telling us, but we ain't been listening. And we looking at things completely wrong. Back in 2018, I was the first person in the neighborhood that bought a lot, and I built a home in this neighborhood. Now, about 100 yards from me, somebody else had bought a lot. And I was sitting here Tuesday morning doing a meditation, and I look over there, and it's dirt everywhere. I'm like, it's just an eyesore, because I'm just so used to looking out here, and there's nothing there. It's an eyesore to me. But I see all this dirt they digging up, and they're getting ready to start doing the foundation. And that's where it kind of hit me. Like, this is the same stage as Auburn football. Listen to what I'm saying. Maybe everybody consider this year the rebuilding year. I'll pause right there. This year is not the rebuilding year, folks. In Hugh Freeze's mind, he had this team through the spring. He had this team through the summer. He done went 7 games through this. We know Hugh Freeze not that bad of an offensive play caller, offensive coach. Philip Montgomery is not that bad of an offensive coach, not to this extent. So where's the problem? I'm going to tell you what the problem is. I want y'all to listen. In Hugh's mind, man, I want to build this thing for the long term. Hugh's not really focused on us winning 8-9 games this year. That's not his main concern. That's not his concern. As Auburn fans, we hate losing, but this is going to have to be something that we just going to have to be patient, because this is not a rebuild. To rebuild something, you got to have a foundation to build on.
Tear down. He
doesn't have the foundation to do what he want to do. Next year is your rebuilding season. You just said all those receivers that he recruited, guess what? All those guys going to be on the field next year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the pieces. My rebuilding might call for a 2x4, but I can't put a 1x4 where I need a 2x4, because I'm building this thing for the long term. That's why he's been saying about the talent gap and this and this and that, and it all pisses us off when he said, but Hugh's biggest win for this season gonna be flipping Ryan Williams, DeMonte Waller, and possibly Jeremiah Beam, and getting them 2 kids. That's his biggest win this season. For so long, we've been just Brian Harsin. One thing he did say that I like, and one thing that he said that we really didn't take heed to. Do you want it done right, or do you want it done right now?
Yes,
You building this thing the right way. And that's what I was saying about this house being built. I was looking at it as an eyesore. But when I turned around and I look at my home, I said, well, this one over here one day is going to be just as pretty, even prettier than mine. And that's what we doing. We looking around and we looking at everybody else's house. And ours ain't what we wanted to be. But one day it's going to get there. We got to go through the process. We looking at it the wrong way. It's not rebuilding. He doesn't want to rebuild an offense with nothing. You got a couple pieces. Connor Lou, Jeremiah Cobb, maybe a Bird, a Fair, those type of guys on offense. I mean, that is nothing else that he even wants to rebuild. This is the dirt removal, getting ready to pour the foundation. What's about to happen? A lot of these guys on the offensive side of the ball, whether how much we like them, guess what? There's a lot of guys got to be processed at the end of this season that don't fit nowhere in the building foundation. They nowhere in the building plan. So I can't build on them. The best thing that we could do is process them. Hey, y'all got the opportunity to go find somewhere you're going to play because moving forward, you're just not in my plan. And that sounds like a hard thing to say, but that's the reality of where we at right now. It's a hard thing to accept, but is it things that they could do different? Yeah, but getting me Ron Williams at Auburn, that's more important than you changing the game plan, trying to win a game or two extra, because we all said we'll be 7-5. 6-6, 8-4, we all said that from the beginning. So in reality, we didn't right when we said we were going to be, regardless of how bad it looked. So that's just my thought. I want to know what y'all think about that.
Perfect.
Well, man, couldn't have said it better. The dozers are out. The lot's getting cleared. You hear a bunch of noise. The dust is flying. Like you got the little red fence is up, and it's ugly as hell.
I think Edward made a fantastic point to sort of counter what I was saying just now about Freeze being scared as a play caller. He is totally the opposite when it comes to recruiting. Not scared. He's going toe-to-toe with the Giants, so to speak. And, hey, you know what? I'm not scared to put in predictions for guys that I think they might land anymore, because I was at first, because it didn't seem like it was going to make it happen. But he has totally changed that. So what Edward's saying about, hey, scrap the foundation that's there, put a new one down, that's what's going on. That's a great point.
And I know this has been said often, but it was reiterated to me today as I set up at the football complex. But Nick Saban lost 6 games his first year. Kirby Smart lost 5. Mike Norville lost 9. All 3 of those guys are in the top 10 right now.
Mario Cristobal lost 7 games his first year, just whipped Clemson last night in double overtime. Miami looks like a completely different program this year. And all 4 of those people, top 10 recruiting class. That was what they did. That was the biggest contribution.
Yes.
The infusion of talent.
See, I think this 2024 class is the foundation. The land's being cleared. The lot's being cleared and leveled up. The 2024 class is your foundation, and you build from there. That's what Edward was saying. This is not his rebuilding year. This is his cleansing year, This is I tell you what, those might be the 2 best calls of the night. Just how Wolf got us started, and how Edward came and kind of just brought the mood down a little bit, and with some reality,
with some woosah, right?
With some depth. What do you call that? Is that a metaphor he used? Analogy.
Yeah,
analogy.
Yeah, I'm a journalism major.
Someone in the chat made a good point too. Do you remember Brent Venables last year at Oklahoma getting beat 49-0 by Texas, and everyone wanting him fired, and how Oklahoma looks right now?
Yeah, lights out, right? Minus playing Gus against UCF yesterday for a minute, but other than that, pretty unscathed.
You know who else lost 5 games his first year? Gene Chizik.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Tubbs has more than that. Tubbs was what, 3-8 that first year, because I think it was just playing 11 games at that point. Maybe 4-7.
I'll come back to that. I hit you. I've been on a Google spin here.
On the old Google machine. Who we got, Zach?
1406. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Josh Corbett from Birmingham, Alabama. How are you guys doing tonight?
What's going on, Josh Corbett?
All right.
So, a couple of things, some along the line of what Edward was just saying. I think as Auburn fans, we have been a little spoiled in our coaching searches over the years. If you think back, Bowden, after the Dye years, first year went undefeated. Tuberville, he had a little bit of time. He had to wait till 2004. But then we had Chiswick, second year, win a national title. Malzahn, first year, go to the national title. And then after that, it's been piss poor. And I think Freeze has shot himself in the foot on that opening press conference. He said, I'm known for fast turnaround. And in Auburn fans' mind, they're thinking, oh, first year magic. Here we go, baby. I don't know. I think this is going to be one of those long haul rebuilds because this roster, we don't have a receiver that would start anywhere else in the SEC. He didn't get any of the quarterbacks he wanted in the portal. He had to settle on his third option.
Fourth.
But there is one stat, and I want to get y'all's take on it. When he was at Ole Miss, he was 9-17 against ranked opponents. Is that just because he was at Ole Miss, or is he just mediocre in big games?
I think Hugh Freeze is actually good in big games. It's been games where they've actually been favored, where he's had some issues where I think a little bit of focus has been lost. If you go back and look at his losses, he would get up for number 1 Alabama, and then you would see a slip against a Arkansas team that was, sub 500, or a Memphis team. I mean, I think that team that went to the Sugar Bowl lost to Memphis and Arkansas in the same season and cost himself a shot at the SEC championship game. Neither of those two teams were teams that should have been able to be on the field with Ole Miss. And conversely, he beat number 1 Alabama, beat Auburn in those seasons. So in big games, he's been at his best. It's games that probably he was favored where the team just kind of lost focus somewhat. And is that, was he victim of circumstance at Ole Miss with whatever they had going on with their roster at the time? I don't know. I don't know enough about it. What I do know is that I like him in big games. We'll see as it pertains to us being a favorite. We haven't had that situation just yet, with the exception of Cal in a Power 5 game. So let's see what happens against Mississippi State where that line is.
That's a fair question.
And then one more thing. My aunt and uncle have a condo in Toomer's Corner, and they had Holden's parents over this weekend. And his dad was talking to my uncle and was like, look, Holden is just frustrated because he's not even getting any reps in practice. Have y'all heard anything about him talking about transferring or anything?
I figured his dad would probably know more than we do.
Yeah, I haven't heard any whispers on that just yet.
I would just say you better expect some transfers. You better just go ahead and get that in your mind and go ahead and wrap your mind around it today, because there's going to be a lot of transfers. Some you may not want to leave that are going to leave. It's part of it.
I got you. Well, appreciate it, guys. Y'all have a good night. I'm continue to listen to the show. Y'all do a good job.
Appreciate you, Josh.
That is a fair question he asked. I think about the big game record, ranked game record, whatever that was. I think maybe the better point, maybe the better context to look at is when he gets a roster the way he wants it. He's tough to deal with, and that's why you want to match him up with what we all believe is a sleeping giant at Auburn and what it can be, right? Because if you went to the game the other night, you watched that light show, you watched everything, every seat is filled, and you go, you know what? This operation's too big to be losing like this. It's just too much. There's so much here and so much potential. You're like, man, you can't be losing like this.
6653. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Dylan from Tampa, Florida.
Dylan from Tampa. What's on your mind tonight, Dylan?
How's it going?
Fairly well, man. Thanks for asking.
Well, I had 2 or 3 questions. First time caller, and just a preface, I'm a moron. So
You fit in perfectly.
I've just regurgitated from Cole Pinkston, or everything I've learned about college football is just reading his stuff. And then around my family and friends regurgitating it, so I sound like I know a ton about football. So thanks to you, Cole. I'm John Madden in my household. But really, I understand the rebuild with Hugh Freeze and talent has to get in there. But my concern is the things that are pretty evidently coaching. We had like the QB rotation just look. I mean, obviously, if that is Montgomery, I mean, that stops with Hugh Freeze being on top of that. And watching this constant QB rotation that makes no sense. 3rd and 1s, we've got, Robbie coming out, Thorne coming in, penalties coming off of that. What are recruits seeing when they're seeing these things that are very, very obviously coaching issues? Like, some of the play calling and everything. And even if it is Montgomery, Hugh Freeze even said in the press conference that he's approving every play call that's going into that. So as a recruit, I got to think you're saying, okay, he missed on a bunch of talent that he evaluated in the portal. We got a bunch of baby hands wide receivers that can't catch.
Hold on. Stop right there. Stop right there, Dylan. Dude, he didn't miss on these evaluations. This is the crumbs that were left over.
Right.
Even Peyton Thorne was like the 5th option. Like, he was the only thing left after Grayson McCall, Devin Leary. There were 2 other guys, I think, Spencer Sanders,
and
Casey Thompson was another one.
Casey Thompson.
Yeah, though I think he took Thorne over Thompson. I think he could have had Thompson.
But you weren't going to get Keon Coleman. He was had a very strong relationship with the Florida State guy. Auburn kind of knew that was going to happen as soon as he hit the portal. So anyways, Dylan, listen, it's not that they went, oh, man, I want this guy over this guy. It was like, we got to have this guy because there's nobody else. He's the best out there. Like, the best transfer wide receivers, Auburn did a pretty good job of getting them. The problem is they're not very good. They're G5 wide receivers who were playing G5 for a reason. No offense, Zach.
No, and to that credit, I mean, they did go after some high-end guys. They went after the Thrash kid from Georgia State that landed at –
Couldn't get into Auburn.
It went to Louisville. They went after the kid that landed at UGA, Ra Thomas. Lost that one straight up to UGA.
Yep. Right.
There was another one that they chased that they couldn't get in on, and they took what they had to. They took bodies, okay? And I told you guys, I think, and I don't want to play the I told you game, but they took 1-year options because they knew, all right, if this hits, great. If this doesn't hit, then it's not going to affect us long term. So I think busting on eval is a tough one for the transfer portal wide receivers. There are good portal wide receivers. We just didn't happen to land them this time around. I do think being in a season when you're in transition, you're coming in a full coaching staff change, your front office changed, everybody that's supposed to be on top of who's going into the portal and knowing all that information, all that was in transition. So I think there will be better set to for who they pursue. They're going to have a better idea of who's going into the portal, how quickly they need to do it, what they need to do to get that situation done. But back to what they're selling these kids, I know you're seeing it as clear coaching miscues, right? That's probably not even coming up in their conversation. Their conversation is purely, it's the relationship that we've cultivated with you. It's the trust that they're building. And then it's, if we had you, this would all be completely different. If we had you, this is what we could do in this set. This is what we could do in this formation. This is how we could stretch the field. It is 100% a sales pitch. It's not talking about like, hey, man, because we don't have – and here's the other thing. I'll say what Hugh Freeze can't say. They don't have a quarterback or one that they trust anyway. They got one that they kind of trust, and then they got one that they like the skill set on, but he can't do what they're asking him to do within the offense. So that's where you are from the quarterback situation, and that's why they're rotating guys the way that they are. I don't like it. I wouldn't do it, but I understand why they're trying to do it. They're trying to get the best parts out of the offense. It's just it's nonsensical the way they're going about it. But anyway, don't worry so much about what they're saying. I promise you, they're not having to worry about that part of the conversation with the receiver prospects.
Hey, real quick. Go ahead, Dylan.
Oh, okay. I was going to say the concerning part was that I understand talent, and you watch this team, and it's very clear that we're deficient on talent, and we're making do with a roster that is just very, very far behind. It's just the concern of the things that play calling. It's obviously you're limited on the plays that you can call with this team, and I understand that. But we just look so undisciplined. You've got late hits happening, penalties. You're giving up 3rd and 22. And so just to watch things that are that the coaching staff that isn't new, we've been doing this since Texas A&M.
Burning timeouts on special teams for the 3rd game in a row.
Yes.
Keep going, big dog. I hear you.
Play calls are not in on time. And so those are the things where I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to watch. I've taken enough beatings as an Auburn fan. I am ironclad on taking L's. But I just want to know that we're going in the right direction. And the recruiting trail shows that. I just am concerned with watching these things that just looks like an undisciplined team that's given up. And that a lot of that is it looks like they're giving up on the coaching staff with some of this undisciplined play and just not giving it what they've got. You know, when you watch Asante nail a guy 4 yards out of out of bounds and giving up a big play that, you know, really puts Ole Miss ahead of us.
Boy, that was a big play. Since Auburn scored that late touchdown, that Asante play was huge.
It was. Now, I don't think he did that because he was giving up. I think he was frustrated and he took it out on that kid. It was undisciplined and it was stupid. Don't get me wrong. I didn't get the sense these kids laid down and quit at all. I don't think they've quit on this staff. Look, what you're seeing as a coaching staff, a lot of these guys have not coached together. Some of them have, some of them haven't. The two coordinators and the head coach have never worked together, and you're seeing a lot of that play out on the field right now. To me, you have been matched up against teams that have been more talented than you in the last 4 games. Let's see what we do when we get on the field against Mississippi State, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, and New Mexico State. Those are all teams that you're equally talented to, in my honest opinion. Does the operation look as bad? If it does, I think Auburn fans should be upset or more upset. And I get being upset. Like, it looked bad last night from an operation standpoint. But I think when you get on the field with a team that's a similar talent base, things are going to look a little bit differently. Hopefully things will continue to iron out on the coaching front. And if they don't, they'll make changes in the offseason to make sure this doesn't continue. That much you can be assured of.
Dylan, I'm not saying this particularly to you. I want to reiterate this one more time. It's not going to be the last time because I'm going to die on this hill. There's only so many hours in the day, okay? And I believe that Hugh Freeze is spending more time recruiting than he is with the football team. I believe that's true. I can almost prove it by people I talk to in the building and what I'm hearing about. And there's results in recruiting. So usually results come from where you're putting the most work into. The offense, though, man, it leaves me scratching my head. But I know that they're scared. They're scared to do certain things. I know it. I know it 100%. And it's not that's not who they are. And that's not who they've ever been, but they think that the schedule's so against them. They think that the margin of error is so small. And Hugh Freeze is not – he feels like he might be a little bit handicapped when it comes to coaching his team, getting fundamentals right, doing all these things because he has spent so much time recruiting. That's what I think it is. I know a lot of you will disagree, and that's totally fine.
Hey, good stuff, Dylan. We appreciate it, man. Let's move it along, Zach. Let's see if we can get as many as we can.
1973. You're live. Who are we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Cameron from Wetumpka. I called last couple of weeks. How are you guys doing tonight?
Fairly well, Cameron. Thanks for asking. How are you?
That's awesome. I'm doing all right.
All right, then. Appreciate you calling in.
Right, so you said what? Sorry.
Oh, is that all you wanted to know?
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding, big dog.
Yeah, probably. I had a question for probably Cole in particular, and I feel like I'm always asking him questions. But I wanted to start off by appreciating you guys for all the recruiting work you guys did this weekend. I know you guys had a full plate. But I wanted to ask a question about, and I know Cole's doing the game analysis, and I don't know if you finished with it or not. I know it takes a while. But one thing that I noticed, or I thought I noticed last night, was a lack of RPO plays. And I like to try and point out the RPO plays now whenever I see them. And I feel like when I did see them, they resulted in positive yards, except for the one, where we threw in double coverage in fourth quarter by Thorne. which can be debated if it was an interception or not. But I wanted to know if maybe I was just crazy and I wasn't seeing them, but I feel like I wasn't seeing them much at all until late in the second quarter. And I also feel like we're not seeing enough, easy routes. If this offense is really going to be dumbed down, I feel like I'm not seeing enough slants or out routes or comebacks, any short yard, easy plays. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I wanted to get somebody who was breaking down the film's analysis on that.
Yeah, Cameron, there were some RPOs. I've done 3 drives. I got about 4 or 5 RPOs, but they were handoffs because Ole Miss was giving them a 5-man box. So a lot of these things are pre-snap, right? You see the routes being run, but they're handing it off. That's a dead giveaway. Watch the receivers on some of these handoffs. If they're running a route and not blocking, it's an RPO. You will know if they're blocking. They go and they attack the DB and they block them. If not, they're running a route, and that's an RPO. That means Peyton Thorne or Robbie Ashford made the decision before the snap, said, all right, I'm either going to hand it off or I'm going to throw it. I got a good box. Let's hand it off. That's it.
1952. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Talking to Tyler from California.
Tyler from Cali.
Yes, sir.
What's on your mind tonight, Tyler?
Man, you guys think y'all need to feed Camden Brown more or what?
Yeah, this is my kind of caller right here.
Yeah, man.
Here's my deal with Camden. All right, first of all, y'all know I love the man. All right, he's an awesome kid. He's a fantastic football player. He was hurt at the beginning of the year. I understand that, but why if you're going to throw into double coverage down the field, I would just like to see the 6'3" wide receiver who's more athletic than anybody in that wide receiver room get the ball thrown up to him. So I'm with you, Tyler.
Camden Brown needs to get more than 50-50 balls.
I completely agree. He hasn't had any this year. He's had a couple of slants. He's had a couple of a crossing pattern and a well, hook is what we used to call it.
Yeah. So if you go back to the film yesterday, he was open on 2 of the posts when Peyton Thorne was in. He ran man-to-man the whole night.
Listen, I'm biased, but y'all tell me, who's the best wide receiver on this team?
And the Brown.
And it may not be saying much.
Javarius Johnson, in my opinion.
He's the best complete receiver.
Okay.
On the team.
So let's put him at the slot.
You have guys like Rivaldo Fairweather, who's probably got the best hands, I would say, but he's not a route runner.
He's not a football player either. Did you see him last? Peyton Thorne was rolling out, and Rivaldo Feather was just sitting there, and Peyton was like, release down the sideline. He was like, hey. I mean, that's the dividend of talent. And then Peyton was like, man, you got to take off. You got to break. Of course, the guy came up, ran Peyton out of bounds. So anyways, like I don't know, man. Again, I'm biased, but I just don't see why Camden Brown's not getting at least a couple of jump balls a game.
I agree.
And I thought it was going to happen last night. I really did.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to see Caleb Burton a lot. I thought we were going to see Camden Brown a lot. And we didn't see anybody at all until the fourth quarter. It's frustrating, man. It's frustrating. And, Cole, you remember when 2 weeks ago when you first brought up that, Hugh Freeze might be protecting his defense by this slow down play and stuff. And I was like, I made the joke of, yeah, you might want to try picking up a first down.
Here, you know what the interesting thing is about his game plan, though? You can't refute that Auburn is in these games. That's the part that pisses me off because I want to sit here and just destroy it because I hate it. I hate the way they run it. It pisses me off. But they're in the football game every time. And that is what Hugh Freeze thinks is the best way to win football games right now. And he knows way more than us. I know that. It's just, golly, it's difficult.
It's frustrating.
Minus LSU, where we just got completely out-athleted and flat. We have not given up more than 28 points in a game. We don't have any Penn States or Georgias where we just got absolutely blasted.
Lost by 7 to the number 1 team, lost by 7 to the number 13 team.
Yes. And LSU, obviously LSU, the dam broke. But I think what he sees is most of his impact players, in my opinion, are on the defensive side of the ball. Marcus Harris, Asante, Jalen Simpson. Those are the best players on this roster right now, in my honest opinion. And he's playing to try to keep them in the game because you see when they get north of 60 snaps, that's when they start to lose it. If he's going tempo on offense, you're going to be well over 60 snaps. And that dam's going to break. And then
Hold on now. Hold on. What if he's going tempo on offense and he's picking up first downs?
That's the key. Yeah.
I agree. But if you're going tempo on offense and you're not getting first downs.
So that's what he's scared about.
Exactly.
He doesn't think he's got the dudes to be able to consistently get first downs. I say, you know what? At this point,
it's a bold strategy, Cotton. So far, it ain't paying off.
You're going to lose anyway.
It is. It's keeping them in the game. You're right, Cole. It is. But keep talking, Cole, because that's my next thought. You're going to lose anyways. What?
Yes, you're keeping them in the game, but you're going to lose anyway.
Right.
Not enough to win you a game. Okay.
In that vein, I think you're getting to the part of the schedule you can do that. I mean, you play Mississippi State, and if Auburn has the same game plan and Mississippi State has the same game plan as they did last week, we're setting football back by about 3 decades, brother. We're going to have another 3-2.
Oh, hey, Tyler, I'm glad you called in, Big Dog, because I've been wanting somebody else to say it. I just want to see it, man. Just a couple. Give him a couple of targets a game to shut me up. I mean, listen, everybody, you notice we hadn't had any callers. You know, a week ago, everybody's calling for Robbie Ashford. We had not one of them today.
Not yet.
Not yet. You good? Tyler, appreciate you, Big Dog.
5810. You're live. Where are you calling from? Who we talking to?
Fellas, acting from Montgomery.
There he is. Right on you. Anthony, I'm so glad you called today, buddy. Talk some sense into me. Good. I'm really glad you called, really. You're one of my favorites. What you think about last night?
Appreciate it. Depressed, frustrated.
Yeah.
But I just feel like the offense is just a wash, and Hugh Freeze know that. He playing 2 quarterbacks because he wished that he can take both of them and put them together to make the quarterback that he wants.
That's right, Anthony.
Payton got the mind. Robbie got the ability. For the Robbie truthers, everybody think he won't start Robbie because he can't throw. It's not that he is inaccurate, but Robbie don't know what he's looking at. It's more to playing quarterback than just going out there throwing the ball. It's pre-snap checks. You got to know what you're looking at. You got to know how to read coverages. Robbie can't do that. That's Robbie's problem. For everybody trying to figure out why Robbie can't play. He don't know what he's looking at. That's not why I'm calling. I think next year, it's going to be a whole wash because I honestly think next year both coordinators going to be gone, and we probably have like 2 starters returning on offense. So I think we're going to not be in this spot, but I think at the end of the year that Freeze is just going to do this all over again. Go find him another not offense coordinator, a position coach or somebody he trusts. He going to call plays. And then Ryan Roberts might survive, but I think he's going to be gone too because it seems like he's hard to work for. So
beautiful.
No, man, it's just frustrating. Like, I just want to look competent. Like, we ain't got to be just look like we know what we're doing. That's the most frustrating part. Like, it's been so long since we just can run a basic offense. Like, how the hell we can so for 20? That's almost impossible. Do y'all understand how impossible it is to play a whole football game and not throw the ball? In the SEC, we had 20-some yards going into the 4th quarter.
28.
How is that even possible?
Freeze, Anthony.
I walked in there and looked at the big screen where I was.
Do y'all understand how almost impossible that is?
I thought it was like the quarter, like this series, they passed for 28 yards. It was like, no, total passing yards, 28. They're 4 of 6. And I'm like, I mean, listen. All right, Anthony, you're going to continue. But if I've got 5-star wide receivers there, I'm throwing it to Camden Brown twice, no matter what happens. And I'm saying, hey, man, that could be you next year. But 4 of 6.
I think. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
No, that's all. I'm sorry, Anthony.
I think the whole quarterback room leaving, except for Hank Brown. He probably the only one come back. The whole receiver room, probably outside of Burton and probably Fair, leaving. Like the offensive line, the offensive line didn't play that bad. I feel like they need more time together. But I really think we're gonna have like a whole new offense, coordinator, everything next year. And like Edward said, man, we gotta start somewhere. And like they said, Freeze tried to tell us, like, this man, everybody's, and I put this on the board, everybody's like, well, I know the players hear it. Man, y'all want to get paid. If I hear my coach say, I don't have no talent, I'm going to get in the lab. I'm going to put my work in instead of crying. I mean, you guys want to get paid. Do what you got to do. It's a job. If they're going to find that, coach is always looking for somebody better than you. You got to do what you got to do, man, to keep your spot. Or you got to go somewhere else and play.
Make that call of the night, Jay.
All I got, man. I'm just frustrated. I'm depressed.
I hear you, Anthony. I'm glad you called in, big dog. That's great stuff right there. We've had some fantastic calls tonight. I knew we would.
We have. Now, I will say this. One thing on Anthony's point. I don't think the offensive line is going to turn over like other people might think that it will.
No, I don't think the O-line's going anywhere.
Connor Lew, to me, like he showed he belonged last night.
He'd be freshman All-American.
Dylan Wade, maybe he turns pro, maybe he comes back. I don't really know where he's at right. Xavier Miller can play. Dylan Muskrat can play. Jeremiah Wright, if he gets focused, can play. Like I think the offensive line is not going to turn over as much as some think. Tight end room won't turn over. I don't know about running backs, but yeah, wide receivers, quarterbacks. I think that's where the massive amount of your transition on offense is going to happen.
You know, real quick on wide receivers, real quick, Zach. Ike Hilliard was here last year. Remember that?
Yeah,
it was terrible.
Barely.
It was terrible. He was terrible. From what I've heard, the guys that were here last year had no idea what was going on as far as running routes and doing stuff. And so it's like they had to start all over with these guys. It was bad. I mean, you got to think now, Harsin couldn't hire a wide receivers coach. He'd fired the one before. Nobody wanted to work for Harsin. All right. So he had to get whoever would take the job. And Ike was going, hey, man, I ain't got nothing to do right now. And so, I mean, it was like the worst of worst, right? So that's who you had coaching your wide receivers last year. That's why there's probably you don't see many on the field today. All right, I'm sorry, Zach. Keep going, big dog.
I know I was going to say we're going into week 9. Yeah. Auburn still doesn't have a quarterback that's hit 900 total yards this year. Auburn as a team has thrown for 1,057 yards. Michael Penix leads the country with almost 2,600.
Oh, Zach, dream crusher, bro. Yeah, that's not good, man.
No, but 8212. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
This is Paul from Hartsville.
Oh, Paul.
Yeah, sorry for calling so late, boys, but I was making a delivery, and I wanted to get. You probably already answered this, or it's been asked, and y'all have answered it. But I just had a couple of questions. Thought I'd ask them real quick. Number one, do you think last night the atmosphere and the way the game turned out, is that going to have a positive, negative, or not really any effect on Auburn's recruiting efforts?
Positive.
Definite positive.
Okay.
Maybe
the way the crowd reacted in the fourth quarter, I was there, and it was frustrating to watch. I just, the way that came about, I was a little bit concerned about that, but again, y'all always say that what the recruits pay attention to and what's on their mind is not what's on our mind. So I was hoping that and based on what I read today from y'all, I didn't think that it had a negative impact. And I also want to say, I think I'm going to call Cole cornbread, because after reading his analysis, if that's a bad meal, cornbread makes any meal better. And I've had to eat a couple of bad meals with the Texas A&M and the Ole Miss games, but his analysis, I've been able to stop it up with some cornbread and feel better about it.
For all of Cole pieces, I'm gonna ask anybody, you gonna read your cornbread?
That's good stuff, right? That's good stuff. Yeah.
Did you read your cornbread?
Before you go to the upper room.
The boom boom. Anyway,
Paul's been there. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, man.
is there any chance that the next 4 games, because to me the next 4 games, 3 of them's winnable and losable. I don't think that there's one I don't think they'll lose. But the next 4 games, is there any chance that they would just say, okay, this is how we're going to play, and let recruits see? Because like last night, not the offense that Perry Thompson's going to be in. It's not the offense that any of those guys are going to be in. But just the next 4 games, just say, okay, guys, because this was the worst stretch that they have as far as team opponents go.
Sure.
They'll play faster and more like they're going to in the future.
Jhead?
I think there's a possibility of that for sure. I think you're at the point of the schedule now where you can play a little looser. You match up significantly better with the team across the field from you. You may even, you're probably going to be favored against Mississippi State. This will be the first time we're favored in a Power 5 game since California.
Zach, can you get a line on that?
That tells you where you're at, right? Like this, you've gone 4 straight games and you've been a dog in every one of them. Okay, so I think against Mississippi State, because you don't fear their offense probably in the same way that you have the last 4 teams that you played, you're not going to worry so much if you get into your tempo game. And you
no.
Are we a dog again?
Oh, I'm just laughing at the over-under.
13 and 13 and a half.
So Auburn's a 6-point favorite.
Wow.
Over-under is 43. I think that's still too high.
Oh, I think I'd take the under all day.
So 21-17 and the under, 24-17 the over.
It's going to be a 14-10 game. You watch.
And it's supposed to rain according to the
weather. Really? My
right
green
now.
fields need some rain.
That favors Auburn, actually.
Yeah.
What did you say, Cole?
That favors Auburn if it rains, no doubt.
I mean, I think both of them. I mean, they got Mike Wright at quarterback.
I know. So I was watching Arkansas and Mississippi State Saturday, and I'm going, man, these two, they're winnable games. And then I thought, man, I bet Mississippi State and Arkansas fans are watching Auburn going, man, that's a winnable game.
They're looking at Auburn, licking their chops like that's good. That's a dub.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
the next 4 is the next 3: Mississippi State, Arkansas, New Mexico State.
Next 3. Well, you got New Mexico State, so the next 4.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Who is Mississippi State?
Vanderbilt, Arkansas.
Right. So you get 3-1, but this you need to be 4-0. You can beat Arkansas.
Can.
Yeah. Should.
But I mean, look, that would get us to our 7-5, right?
I know.
You know what I mean? Like that made me look a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality of the situation is, I don't know if Auburn, the way this team is played on the road, can go on the road 2 straight weeks.
Right.
Now, what you don't know is if you get the Vanderbilt one, because we know weird things happen in Nashville when Auburn's having a down year, right?
Oh yeah.
Weird things happen. Where is Arkansas going to be? Because they're going to be coming out of that Florida game, right?
Where's their heads going to be too, man? Are they done?
They just fired their offensive coordinator today.
Did they fire Dan Enos today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mutual parted ways with. They fired his ass. What the hell is going on? What the hell just happened?
When you did the air quotes, Jeffrey, balloons.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
Is that real?
I've never seen that happen.
I can't even
Do air quotes again for me one time, Jeffrey. Let's see if it pops up. Come on. One more. Hey!
I'm the smartest guy in this room.
You really
got me down.
Air quotes and balloons, baby.
Is it just you?
I don't know. Everybody do it. Let's see.
Oh, hey. All right. In air quotes.
No, you just got to do one.
But
20 years.
Look.
No.
It's not doing it anymore.
Oh, no.
Okay.
There it goes.
All right. Go ahead, big dog.
But
that is hilarious.
The other thing is, look, it's not unprofessional, but Trav wants that Auburn game. You know he wants that Auburn game. just to, let everybody know it's still Travis Williams. You know what I mean? Maybe you missed out on this. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like there's going to be a little bit of that there with Trav, and he's going to try to pitch a shutout in that game. You watch. And Arkansas is not bad defensively. They have really come on in the last 3 weeks. So
did enough last week to beat Mississippi State. Should have.
Yeah.
And they got some wide receiving talent too. It's just KJ Jefferson hasn't been able to get them the ball much.
No, he really did.
He's underperformed.
Have you ever seen a quarterback regress like that?
No.
I mean,
I thought he was going to be big this year. Like, Arkansas was going to contend for the West. I mean, second or third place.
The bad part is I would still take him as our quarterback right now, but that's a whole
without question.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
But a dude that's produced in the league. Go ahead, Cole. But we're not talking about Jeremy Johnson, where like we built him up and he was going to be a Heisman, and then he just was like complete bust.
Tank.
KJ has thrown for significant yardage in this league, and it's just not there this year.
I mean, a new offensive coordinator who just got fired. That doesn't help. Pass protection hadn't been as good. Their offensive line, which is supposed to be their strong point, has not been the best part of their team. With Sam Pittman, you would think that would.
Yeah.
It happens.
They lost their starting running back at the beginning of the year, right?
Yeah, I mean,
injury.
That dude is big time.
Yeah, number 5. I'm blanking on his name.
Yeah, look, Trav could have had him to play linebacker. That's how talented that kid is. Rocket Sanders.
Raheem, yes.
Raheem.
I do want to make a quick point. Talking to people inside the building last year, when the Harsin regime was still full go, and Harsin did get people to rally around him for a while there because they didn't look scared in games. They didn't sometimes until you got to Penn State and you go, well, where did that come from? Right. So the recruiting, though, they told me people in the building who did not believe in that regime and what they were doing, and they didn't believe in it from the top down from Harsin, said, look, we're on the level with Mississippi State and Vandy roster-wise right now. Oof. And if you think Mississippi State and Vandy aren't looking at Auburn thinking they can get a win out of that, you're wrong.
They are.
They predicted what Auburn was going to look like this year by the recruiting. And by the way, I don't know who made this point. I wish I knew your username because you made such a good point on the board today. Auburn is missing an entire recruiting class.
Yeah.
One person.
Nobody but one guy in that class. Think about this. We dedicate live shows to a recruiting class. We dedicate every article we write to a recruiting class for an entire year, a whole football season. And that whole class, you just wipe it out.
Vanishes.
You don't have it on the team. Can you imagine?
And a lot of them are balling out at their next location.
Yeah. Some of them were okay. Some of them were okay evaluations. Some were not. Bottom line is they're not at Auburn, and they're not helping you right now.
Ole Miss's defense had 2 of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Lee Hunter.
There it goes again. That's got to stop. I don't know what I did, but that's
probably the biggest one out of that class is Lee Hunter down at UCF. I checked his stats the other day.
He's having a hell of a year.
30 was 3 sacks.
That's from Viger.
Think about if you had him lined up on the inside.
He might be.
Lee Hunter,
380.
JP Geese, Ladarius Tennyson, Landon King's balling.
Yeah.
What about the kids? Kobe Hudson.
Tavares Dawson. Bad.
Tavares Dawson catching touchdowns at Colorado. Who'd you say, Jhead?
That recruiting class, but those are guys that Harsin ran out.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if they were all in the same class.
Bo Nix, NFL.
Bo Nix is going to win the Heisman at this point.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, dude. Harsh ran some talent out of the building, brother.
Dude, that's it's a tough deal to take over there, man.
TJ Finley's gone.
Balling out. Zach Calzada was leading the FCS in passing until he got hurt.
Was he really?
Mm-hmm.
Did he tear his shoulder up again, swinging a tennis racket? What did he
do? Do we still have 7 people on hold, Zach?
5.
Oh, man. Did we lose 2?
Lightning round.
Damn, we got to shut up. All right.
8861. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Kevin from Denver, Alabama.
There he is.
Pretty question, baby.
Jaquez Hunter played good last night.
Yes, he did.
Best game of the year by far.
Looked like the old Quez a little bit.
How about DeMarcus Riddick, Bryce Kane, Marker White, and Perry Thompson, and Malcolm Simmons?
Oh.
Oh.
All of those guys except for Walker were at the game Saturday night, Kevin. All of those guys are locked in. All of those guys are looking to the future. All of those guys are helping recruit Auburn. All of those guys are having big-time senior seasons.
Yes, they are.
Big-time senior. Malcolm Simmons went off. Malik Blockton went off. This class is looking better and better, believe it or not. Even after trimming. Yeah, had 4 sacks, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he's the low 3-star Marcus Harris's brother. Remember when he committed, people were like, oh, okay, great. Auburn took him because they had to. That dude's a player.
I remember, you know what else I remember about Malik Blockton? I'm going to help you out here, Malik, because some Bama fan got on his Twitter and was like, Bama didn't really offer you this. Well, Bama kind of likes him right now.
Did he go to Tuscaloosa?
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, when we were at LSU.
Bye week. Okay.
Yeah, I believe he's a take for Alabama if they could get him flipped. I don't think they could. But
no way.
Happen, right? I mean, but look, have you noticed, Jeffrey, that the guys that Kevin just named are almost like kind of the popular clique?
They're the core group.
They walk around and they're kind of like the big dogs, and everybody's watching them, and they're all together all the time. Perry and DeMarcus Riddick are like best friends now.
Oh yeah,
that's
Joe Phillips was there. DJ Barber was there. Dude, that's going to get me talking about Larry Nixon. But but Kevin, hey, big dog, always appreciate you. Always look forward to you keeping us on our toes about these top dog recruits.
Jeffrey, did you see Sam Adams, the head coach at Oxford High School, put this tweet out that he said DJ Barber is the best linebacker I've ever coached against?
No.
He sure did.
I did.
Look at his Twitter. Coach Sam Adams from Oxford.
That's my teammate, big dog.
He's a good football coach for sure.
He's a fantastic football coach. He was a GA at Auburn when we played at Bevel State together.
Don't take my word for it. I've been on
the same flag football team, right?
Yeah, same flag football team.
I've been on the DJ Barber bus, Jeffrey. Don't take my word for it. Take Sam Adams' word for it.
Sam Adams was from Corner, Alabama. You know where Corner is?
Yeah.
Conner is up near the Jefferson and Walker County. It's in the corner of Jefferson County is where it is.
It's not close to Jasper, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's right on top of Jasper.
Yep.
3546. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
War Eagle, fellas. It's Jeremy Redding from Killen, Alabama.
Hey.
War Eagle.
Excellent poster right here.
Killing them softly, big dog. What's on your mind tonight, Jeremy?
I just had 2 questions. One, with what we saw at the end of the game with some of the in-breaking routes, any thoughts that may spark some change in our approach to the passing game?
Coverage was so soft at that point in the game, it's hard to say. Jeremy, I would hope so, but realistically, we're not going to be defended like that when we take the opening snap against Mississippi State. So we'll kind of see how that translates in that game.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, second question, looking forward, we saw Connor Lew come in. I think he played exceptionally well for his first real action. Who else is waiting in the weeds on that offensive line to come in and make a mark either later this year or next year?
Go
ahead. TJ Johnson. TJ Johnson is a freshman from Natchitoches, Louisiana. I believe that's how you say it.
Nice job.
He's a guy I think that's going to be okay. Playing tackle, right or left tackle. I'm not sure which one yet, but he's going to be okay.
I've heard good positive reviews on Cinda at guard. I think he's going to be a kid to watch. And the one that I'm very interested in, Cole and I both had a high opinion of him in high school, but specifically when you look at him in the interiors, what do they get out of Eston Harris next year? That kid.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
You know what I mean?
Show him.
Oh, look. I got it. I got that fade doctored up.
High tight, big dog.
I gotta get my Jhead. I gotta get my Jhead cut in.
I got mine the other day, man.
Look at you.
I mean, look at that. That's looking
Man,
good, son.
The struggle was real, brother. You caught me on a tough day, man.
Jeffrey, how do you get your haircut?
I get those clippers, right? And I just, it's as close as it'll go. And then just hit it. So I don't get a razor or do any of that little, sissy stuff. I just, and the thing is, I use it for my face too. I use one clipper. I shave maybe once a week. I do my face, and then I do straight on to my head, my neck. And that's it. Same razor all the way around, same length all the way around.
Nice.
Once a week.
Once a week.
Jesus, brother. I wish my face hair was like that.
Yeah. I can't grow a beard. I'm 47, dude. I can't grow a beard.
I mean, I get hair. You know what I mean? It's just like white trash, like all patched in.
Yeah. Mine, it would, yeah. Mine would look like Cole's. Just about aneurysm. Hold on.
You can't leave Zach out of this.
Zach's pretty full, ain't it?
I got a full beard. I just trim mine every once in a while. I can grow it out.
I can't.
It just looks crazy.
Hey, look.
Cole got the dirty chin.
Probably.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
my
jealous.
life at this point. I'm still working on it. We're still working.
Cole, listen, Cole, you are by far yours is significantly better than anything I could grow, dude. I had to dye. Last time I grew a mustache out for November, I had to dye it. I had to get Hair Club for Men and dye that thing, dude, to fill it in.
Oh, I'll take some vitamins. I could get a good stash now. You want me to rock a stash for a couple of weeks?
Yeah, dude, put that dirty thing on.
You got to grow out your mustache until Auburn throws for 300 yards again.
Yeah.
That's the bet.
I'll be like, all right, hold on. We got a couple more.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, let's don't keep them holding. Let's go.
2378. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
What's going on, fellas? This is AJ from the metropolis of the mouth.
Oh,
baby, get on here.
AJ, what's on your mind, big dog?
Out in the boonies. How y'all doing tonight?
Fantastic.
Good. Hey, so a thought I had about Hugh Freeze and the approach that he's taking towards trying to save his defense. Do you think it's possible that he sees guys with NFL potential like Jalen Simpson, Marcus Harris, and he's really trying to preserve their stats to up their draft stock? You think that's why he may be so interested in not doing the hurry up and kind of trying to save them toward the end of the game to keep pushing up their draft stock?
I don't think so. I don't think that's y'all. I don't think that crosses his mind. He just he's about this.
I think it's more, are you the same Marcus Harris at 80 snaps as you are at 60 snaps?
Yes.
There you go.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it is. More so than him worried about his draft stock. He's not worried about his draft stock to that degree, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think it's that far in.
And it's not even, are you the same Marcus Harris? Because obviously Marcus isn't getting 60 snaps. He's getting closer to 40. But what's Marcus Harris's backup like when he gets over 15 snaps?
Yeah.
Where does it go? Does it fall?
Right. Like, how drastic of a drop is it? You know, I think it's pretty drastic from what Marcus brings to the field, if we're being completely honest.
And I don't know how you guys feel. I feel like Simpson and DJ James and those guys, their draft stock's kind of already solidified. I mean, they're on the Senior Bowl watch list. They're on the radars. They're going to get their tape, but they're not relying on that to jump on anyone's radars that they wouldn't already be on, I feel like.
I hear you.
I think Asante is the only one who's his tape popped this year to get on somebody's radar. He's the guy that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I like it, though. I like theories. I like off-the-wall
Can I ask
theories.
one more question?
Yeah, what you got, AJ?
Ryan Williams,
Ooh,
man of the hour.
Thank you.
Percentages on landing him by the end of the year. What do you think, Cole?
Woo, that's a good one, Cole. Cole had something about him in his cornbread today.
that good mix.
That was good. That was good. I'll never forget that. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Dylan. I appreciate y'all reading that stuff, man. That's awesome. But look, I think Auburn might get Ryan Williams.
Ooh. I'm staying with Jay Lee's percentage of 45-55 for the moment. I reserve the right to change that if an announcement should come in December and Ryan Williams is going to reclassify to the 2024 class. Should that happen, I think I'll adjust my percentages. But as of today, I'm going to leave it 45-55 the way Mr. Jeffrey Lee has it.
And here's what's going to happen with Ryan Williams. He's going to reclassify in early December. He's going to take official visits. He's going to come to Auburn for the Iron Bowl. He's going to reclassify the following week. He's going to take official visits in December and January. He's going to return to Auburn for an official visit. He's going to return to Auburn for an unofficial visit. He's going to make his decision the first week of February. And whatever you think right now is not going to matter. It's going to be what you think at the end of January. Because, listen, I went to the athletic complex today with 45-55. And I left there more 50-50. And then I kind of went back. I'm at 45-50. It doesn't matter. I mean, what the hell is it? But I will say this. The amount of confidence that Auburn had for Perry Thompson, they have for Ryan Williams. So I'll leave it at that. AJ, good stuff, big dog. Thank you for bringing the recruiting question to us, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will say there are some good ones in the comments that we probably.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's get to our last caller, man. We've been making this dude hold forever.
3702.
Almost
You're
forever.
live.
Oh no, Jeffrey, it's no big deal. I don't mind listening to the show. We love it, man. I'll wait for another hour if you want me to.
Feel like he's in the ladies' bathroom line, man. Come on now.
Wait a minute, you got two of them, like, don't you?
Yeah. All right, 3702. What's your name? How you doing?
I'm all right. How about you? I'm Rob from Valdosta.
What's up, Rob from Valdosta? Man, we've been waiting on your call all night. You the call we've been looking for, that last one.
Well, thanks.
What are you thinking, Rob?
I'm thinking about where does Jhead and Cole live, because I swear I spent every Thanksgiving of my youth in Peachtree, Alabama.
In where, Alabama?
Peachtree.
Crenshaw County, right by Luverne.
I know exactly where you're from, brother.
Listen, man. Me and Jhead have spent some time in Crenshaw County, and put it that way.
No doubt about it. I got family in Opp, brother, and I've definitely been to Luverne. So, Covington, Crenshaw, Coffee County, I've been in them all, man.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Rob, we good?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to say hi to you guys, and been really enjoying your show, and I'm fired up by how sharp that damn Cole is, really.
Yeah.
As you should be. As you should be.
Well, now, where does the great Jhead live?
Well, right now, I'm in the northeast part of North Carolina, but originally from Coffee County, a little small town called Elba, Alabama.
Okay. I just heard you talking about you're in Eastern time right now, and I thought you might be in Georgia somewhere.
Unfortunately not, Rob. You're down there in God's country in Valdosta. I'm pushed up here in North Carolina, and I'm not even in Jeffrey's favorite mountains. I'm over here to the Virginia side of things, just south of Chesapeake. But be that as it may, the weather's beautiful up here right now. I can't complain with the assignment, and just appreciate your call, Rob.
Thanks, sir. I enjoyed the show, man.
Dude, I mean, you know what? I love to hear that. That makes me feel good. I appreciate the hell out of that. I really do.
I agree.
Y'all remember we started this show, dude. We were hoping somebody would call in. Remember, like, oh my God, we got a call. Let's get to the phone lines right now, real quick. Who we got here? Oh, Jeffrey from Jasper.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. I told family when we did our first call-in show, I told family, hey, we got a call-in show. We don't know how it's going to go yet. One of my buddies called in. He goes, there you go. There's a call, bud.
Yeah. So that means a lot, man. I appreciate the hell out of that.
We had more comments in the chat than we had calls. We would get 2 calls a night. It looked like a cable access show, like Garth and Wayne putting something on in their basement, dude.
I love it when y'all tell us where you're from. I just love because the job I had before I did this, I traveled the state of Alabama. I got to know all these places. I want to know where Hogbone's from.
I bet he's from Slap Out. Bet money he's from
Hogbone.
He just posted, Strawberry, Alabama is what he put in the chat.
Strawberry, huh?
That's like Moorefield, or you may know where Moorefield is. It's up above Lafayette.
Yeah, Chambers County.
Yeah,
you got to make sure you say Lafayette too.
Lafayette,
That's
Lafayette.
It's
not Lafayette. It's not Lafayette. It's Lafayette.
I made that mistake one time.
Oh, we got Blake Robinson from Slap Out, or he just said Slap Out in the comment.
Moorefield's got some pretty country, man. That's beautiful country up to there. 431. It's beautiful right up to there. Hey, well, these were the places we got calls from tonight. I thought the Wolf and Edward were fantastic, and I thought Anthony was fantastic. Dude, did we not have a fantastic? Everybody. The Wolf called from Coleman, Edward from Selma, obviously. Josh Corbett from Birmingham. So there's North, Central, and South Alabama. Dylan from Tampa, Florida called.
Yep.
Cameron from Wetumpka, another Central Alabama guy there. How about Tyler calling from California?
Yes, sir.
Camden Brown, big dog.
We said coast to coast.
More 4 is what I'm saying.
West side.
Anthony from Montgomery. Paul from Hartsville, another North Alabama fella. Kevin from Wilmer. AJ from Demopolis. And Rob from Valdosta. Fantastic, dude, all the way around. Listen, here's what I want to talk about before we go. The next 4 games. Everybody give me your prediction on the next 4 games. I think they're very crucial. Very huge, very crucial.
It's the season, right?
Yes, it absolutely is.
This determines whether or not you get into postseason play. I'm going to go. I've been a 7-5 guy since the beginning of the season. What the hell, man? I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going to let it go 4-0. 4-0. I'm going to stay on my 7-5, even though I think it's probably going to be 3-1. I'm going to go 4-0.
That's almost as ballsy as what I just said about Ryan Williams.
Yeah, man.
You got him at 3-1.
I'm going to let him hang out, big dog.
I think, man, there's just no telling. I think there's probably a loss in there somewhere. I'll go 3-1.
So I went back to 6-6 after the was it the LSU game? What was the last time? Okay, yeah. But listen, I think Auburn's going to win these damn games. The only thing that scares me is the road games.
Yeah, I know, man.
Listen, Auburn better beat Mississippi State. Auburn better beat Vanderbilt. Auburn better beat New Mexico State. I'll give them a push on that Arkansas. So now you're looking at what, being 6-5 heading into Bama.
Yeah.
I think that's the most likely scenario.
I agree. I mean, I think 6-6 is probably the most likely. I think 7-5 is the most unlikely, and that 5-7 would probably be the next most likely, if we're being honest. I think it is probably more likely that Auburn loses 2 than it is that they go 4-0.
Oh, I would disagree on that.
Okay.
If they lose to Mississippi State, it's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
Yeah. You have to win this upcoming weekends. If you lose to State, you're probably losing to Arkansas, and that Vandy game becomes the biggest trap game in the world.
You can't lose to them.
Absolutely it does, man. Like, it's got to be a one game at a time mentality right now. Every game is your Super Bowl. The only other thing, and I'm with you, Jeffrey, the emotion that they're going to have to play with to get to 4-0. That's tough, because it's not. I mean, we're playing probably equal talent, right? Maybe even slightly down somewhat to Arkansas.
Yeah.
Arkansas may have more talent than us.
I would probably lean Auburn if it was at home. At Arkansas, dude, I think I said 2 weeks ago, I will never pick for Auburn this Auburn team to win on the road against a competent team. Now, whether or not Arkansas by that time, hell, Arkansas's lost 6, haven't they?
That's what I'm saying. All right. So they lost 6. They go into a bye. Then they got to go on the road to Florida and then come back and we get them. Where are they at mentally?
Right.
What you don't. Are they like what we were when Arkansas came into our house last year and that team just kind of rolled over?
Have they quit?
Yeah.
Yep. Are they 2-8 at that point?
And then they still got Missouri, who's sitting at 7-1 the final week too. So that's probably, and that I want to say no, they got that one at home, so that one probably is a loss. So it's not looking. And Florida's playing out of their mind right now. Graham Mertz looks like a different quarterback these past few weeks.
Yeah,
I'm ready for this recruiting show. I bet our fans are too. We're gonna hit that recruit. Man, we got a lot to talk about. First of all, I love this show because I love the audience dictates what we're talking about, right?
Yes.
Because we could have sat here and talked recruiting for 2 hours. We still can, and we will on Wednesday. But I thought, man, there were so many good points tonight. I love the Wolf's questions. It got everybody thinking. It got everybody talking. Edward I think was fantastic. Was that the analogy, right?
Yeah, it was a great one.
Yeah. Who was it? Anthony had a great one. Was it Paul?
Yeah. You talking about the cornbread or?
Or somebody, Josh or Dylan. Maybe it was Dylan. There was a bunch of everybody had good questions tonight, man. Well, let's end it there, man. And we will we're going to talk recruiting. We've got a lot of recruiting content left from yesterday. We still got some more to get. Mississippi State next weekend. We'll have coverage of that weekend. We'll have the rest of the coverage from this past weekend. Be on the lookout for Caleb Harris, the defensive back from Thompson. Be on the lookout for Laquan Robinson, the defensive back from Holmes Community College. Favor Edwin was back in Auburn on Saturday. A lot of big deals in recruiting. So check out Auburn Live on 3 if you haven't already. I believe if you go right now, man, they still got that big game special going up. They probably won't turn it off till tomorrow. 50% off for an annual subscription, which is $55 a year, which is 55 divided by 12 is like $4.70 per month for a whole year. That's pretty damn good. I promise you will not be disappointed in that. One more time, Auburn, Opelika, Lee County. Call Jessica Andrus for your realtor needs, 334-704-4442. Tell her we sent you. I promise you will not be disappointed with her. All right, that'll do it, man. And thanks, everybody. We really appreciate everybody listening. We really appreciate everybody watching, calling, commenting, and participating in the chat. We love you. We appreciate you, man. We truly do. For Jhead, for Zach in the back, who came to the front, Mr. Cole Pinkston, I'm Jeffrey Lee. Y'all stay out of that left lane. See ya.